Hell's Kitchen, a good or bad reality TV series? Hey guys, welcome back to Film Dive. Hell's Kitchen has become one of the most popular cooking shows solely thanks to one man, Gordon Ramsay. He's taken the show to new heights, and many viewers enjoy the Scot being loud and shouting out various explanatives, and while that may be the theme of the show, many others do not agree with Gordon. Many even believe that the show can negatively affect you and possibly make the restaurant industry worse. Let's explore that more in this video. Hell's Kitchen as a show is quite difficult to produce. The show's executive producer Arthur Smith once told Delish that the show entails many long sleepless nights. That's because within the show are embedded many signs of verbal and even physical abuse. Besides, Ramsay portrays an intimidating character on screen. Despite this, many people find working with him rather enjoyable. Nevertheless, according to Dr. Pen Pantam Simchai, shows like Hell's Kitchen can negatively affect the restaurant industry. Pantam Simchai states that showing this behavior on television is toxic as it contributes to locker room talk in the restaurant industry. Now, if you don't know what he means by locker room talk, it's basically aggressive verbal abuse ridden talk between men. The show normalizes and encourages such aggressive behavior among chefs, which as you can see is definitely not okay. The worst part is that the workers will endure the abuse for the so-called great experience and the promise of where their roles now as to where their careers can be in the future. Targeting junior chefs in the restaurant industry. Now, Gordon Ramsay and other celebrity chefs are considered to be influencers. So when they act hostile on screen, new real-life chefs are already prepared and expect to be targeted of such behavior. According to an article by Grub Street, junior chefs and women of all positions are more likely to be victims of abuse in the kitchen. Men, on the other hand, reportedly did not notice signs of sexual abuse in the workplace. The article states that abuse is more towards those who are lower down in the hierarchy, prep cooks, line cooks, but also women regardless of their position. As you can see, shows like Hell's Kitchen encourage such abusive behavior at the workplace. The viewers may enjoy watching the show, but the industry related is being affected negatively. Working in an abusive workplace has everyone riding on the edge of their seats. Though credit can be given to such shows for raising the entertainment value of an abusive kitchen, they also think this behavior breeds a system where the abused becomes the abuser. It isn't until you break the cycle as a chef while commanding your own kitchen that the violence actually ends, according to Dr. Ellen Miser. Being uncomfortable will cause people to become more aggressive, added Dr. Pantam Simchai. The toxicity in kitchens won't end until chefs themselves break this abusive cycle towards their own workers. But until then, restaurants should not use Hell's Kitchen as a framework for how their work environment should be structured. Winners on the show have landed on the street. Not everyone who wins reality TV goes on to be successful and well off. Well, take a look at Hell's Kitchen, where one of the contestants landed on the street. Michael Ray, winner of the very first season of the show, had just won Hell's Kitchen and had one really difficult decision to make. The then 27-year-old chef was made an offer by Ramsay himself to work alongside him in London. After some nervous deliberation, a shell-shocked Michael agreed. The room erupted in cheers. But Michael would later change his mind. It was the hardest decision I've ever had to make. I regret it all the time, he tells BBC. I was in Hell's Kitchen with a drug problem. I was deathly afraid of going to London with a giant addiction. Michael was flown out to London for 5 days and got a taste of what could lie ahead of him. But in the end, fears of not having access to his drugs eventually made him turn down the offer. Despite turning down the chance to work with one of the world's best chefs, Michael still had a lot going for him in the US. He was preparing to open his own restaurant in Los Angeles. He had money in the bank and was expecting his first child with his wife Lola. Then tragedy struck. He lost his daughter, and Michael could no longer prevent his addiction from taking hold of his life. Michael managed to carry on at the restaurant for around 6 weeks after his daughter passed away before walking away. His relationship soon broke down, and he started living out of his truck. Michael would still find work in kitchens, mainly so he could fund his spiraling drug habit. Before long, Michael was living beneath an underpass near Hollywood Boulevard. Although Michael was by then on the streets and in the full-blown thralls of addiction, he would still find ways to cook. At one point, he was leading classes at the high-end Sur La Table store by day, then retiring to the underpass to take drugs and sleep at night. With all his money going on drugs, Michael was forced to visit homeless shelters for meals, but would usually end up rustling up dishes in the kitchen for the rest of the shelter. Michael's situation was so bad, he was refused admission into rehab. He had his lowest when he almost died in the desert. However, Michael soon got himself on his feet and entered rehab in 2012. Today, Michael is clean and has a wife and a house. But this scary story proves that no reality show will make you succeed in life unless you do it yourself. So that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.